A driver without a purpose has already lost. But a driver with a purpose is a dangerous driver. I got asked a very...
Cyrax is an anomaly. I think we can agree on that. And he likes to believe he's special because there's so many talents trapped in that 5'1" body. Well, I disagree. I think Cyrax is an anomaly. Besides all of the glaringly obvious reasons, in a span of hours or just a few days, can go through so many emotional spectrums. He'd drive a therapist mad. And speaking of therapists, the Aussie chick who saved Cyrax from complete and utter self-destruction, she will for sure keep this up. Almost guaranteed, guys. All promises there. Gave Rax an ultimatum. After his long night with Glory Hole, you attend therapy or she's leaving him. She never met him in person and he didn't get the rig, but this is serious, guys. Rax can't lose this girl, who's treated him the exact same as all the other online girlfriends of his, but just forget about that. Rax decides it's time for therapy, and in an environment where difficult and vulnerable conversations are being had, Cyrax just decides to record it all, every bit of it. Who cares about other people's feelings? I'll figure that out in a different therapy class, guys. But before his therapy session, something way more important in his life happened, and he ditched the first class to record a video about why he's a racer, what it means to be a racer. And afterwards, he was so motivated, he worked for the next 10 hours playing Forza. And that drive, people, we wake up and say, damn, it's time to go to work. But Cyrax, he wakes up every day, a cup of sludge, and is excited to get back at it, trying to outperform himself from yesterday. That's Manager of the Year material, people. We just don't know nothing about that.
Very interesting question yesterday by a very near and dear friend of mine who's like my little brother. And when he asked me this, it took me back to the very beginning of my whole career and why I have such a love for the car community and why I have such a love and a passion for racing. And he asked me, dude, why do you race? He's like, what makes you and drives you to want to race and be a part of the car community? And it was interesting. The way he put it was very interesting. And it made me think. I race for the love of the car community. I race for the sake of racing. For me, it's not about being the best in the world. It's not about winning every single race. It's to keep a community alive. It's to keep a culture that has been ingrained in my heart, my blood, and my soul alive. You see, in 2001, my older brother introduced me to the Fast and the Furious movie, which started my car love. Because it showed me that there's more out there than just watching NASCAR on the weekends with your family. There's other types of racing out there as well. There's all kinds of passions for cars. And I started getting into that culture in 2003 when I got my first GameCube and I had gotten Need for Speed Underground 2, which started my love for the underground car community and for its culture. And it was through Need for Speed Underground 2 that I grew this undying passion and love for the underground car community.
Look at this man, tell me he wasn't born to race. You may think those are the eyes of a prey, but no. Cyrax has full 360-degree view at all times. There's a reason he refuses to race NASCAR. Dude would be smoking all the tracks, every single night. Just look, there was an Earnhardt rule made after his terrible tragedy. Racers will probably be required to wear vision restrictors. if Cyrax was ever to step foot in the NASCAR circle, guys. And F1, psh, don't even get me started about his F1 skills. The top dog Raxo, his aerodynamic shape, whew, just add some speed to it, they'd stand no chance either. You guys should just be thankful he's sticking to video games.
When I was in high school, I even went to auto body shop to learn how to fabricate and paint and weld. I learned how to fabricate, car parts. Your car is an extension of yourself. It don't matter whether you're driving a soccer mom van. It don't matter whether you're driving a G-Wagon. When you're driving, you're keeping that culture alive in your own way and you don't even know it. Whether you're using a daily driver, whether you're doing it in video games, no matter what, you're still keeping that culture alive. Because see, through playing the Forza series, I would not only become one of the fastest in the world, but I would also grow to make some of the closest friends that I've ever made in my life.
Seeing Cyrax in auto body class would have been a real treat. It's like seeing a caveman reinvent the wheel every single day. Him coming up with a quote-unquote brand new invention, showing it to all of his teachers, all the ones that like him at least, coming back, and you gotta act like you're a little bit impressed with him. Give some claps, how you doing? You did pretty good, old Raxy boy. And then you're like, whew, gotta wipe my hands, I've got the cheese touch almost. It kinda reminds me of my auto body class. I mean, we were just the worst combination of people that could ever have been thrown together in a class, and I wasn't even supposed to be in there. I faked my way into it for some reason because it was way better than the one I got scheduled. So I was like, yeah, let's go do it. And he would hate to know that I wasn't even supposed to be in that class. He retired the year afterwards, cited us as the reason for it. It's just all bad. But I would guarantee you, I was still a far better student in auto body class than Cyrax. Leaps and bounds. I never did anything.
What's up, man? So I seen the messages that you were sending, and I do agree, and I see your point. But just say no. Like, I'm not. When I say the things that I say, I'm not aiming it at a whole or a whole. I'm aiming that stuff at a specific person, like Marty. Because the things that he has done are very deplorable, unforgivable, and very, very disgusting. One, he cannot be trusted. He is a lying piece of shit. He will use any tactic he can to get what he wants, including lying to you. It don't matter whether it's screenshots or what. You and I both know that he took and he bought that rig. He paid to have that rig sent to him. Or he says he bought it at least. He admitted in Potato's server when I was confronting Potato that he does not care. Like I said, Thump, he don't care about you. He only cares about one person, himself. That's all he cares about. He don't care about what happens to you. He don't care about what happens to me or Ethan or CIA. But like I said, man, I am not racist at all. And like I said, I understand your concerns. And I completely
Even after Marty got the rig, Cyrax is down to do all of this. Normally, when one of his girlfriends betrays him even slightly, because if anyone with half a brain thought about it, they'd realize, wow, my girlfriend pretty much deliberately sent that dude a rig. She must not like me very much. In fact, she must be one of my great enemies, the ones he's always complaining about. But Cyrax must really care for this Taylor girl. Cares so much for her probably because she says she's gonna buy him a ticket to Australia. And Cyrax, he just can't miss that to get away from everyone. No more lingering around Lloyd Street getting things thrown at him when he walks outside. If he did walk outside. living in the great continent of Australia, and if the girl has half a mind to her, she would end up throwing him out in less than a week, because could you imagine living with Cyraxx? Sally barely puts up with it, and she's pretty much the thing's mother at this point. Just take a look at this next clip coming up. What you're about to see is Sally and Ed. Ed's getting really tired of this. Somehow it's took 6 or 7 years, I think he's only been around for 5, to start getting super tired of this again. But hey, when you come around, you come around. So Cyraxx is on Marty's stream, and he's basically having a strip show, pretty much. That's all he was doing. 20-30 minutes. I would click on it, but oh my god, click away. Click on it 10 minutes later, oh my god. But then there was some gold lied in the pits of awfulness. It's Cyraxx getting scolded by Sally and Ed to stop showing his thing on camera to the entire internet. What does Cyraxx say? I've got to, Mom. How else am I gonna stop the trolls? There's no other options anymore.
Do I need to get this out on your ass, boy? Yeah. Trying to get Marty shut down. That's the only way I can.
You're not getting stuck.
No, I'm trying to get him.
Stop.
No, Mom, this is my rig we're talking about. It's the only way to get him.
Cops coming after you. I'm not stopping them.
Yeah, you are, because they
No, I'm
can't.
not.
Yes, Mom, you are.
No, I'm not. No, they're on the fucking computer.
Well, you know what? I'm trying to get Marty shut down so he can't get the money.
That's not going to get him shut down.
Alright, fine. I'll f***ing stop then. What the f*** is up, everybody? Now, I know it's been a while since I've streamed, and I wanted to come back strong. I wanted to come back showing you guys that I am better than what I was before. Because a couple nights ago was the worst night of my life, and it made me realize some shit. That I can either be a victim, or I can overcome it and do my job and rise up as a victor. So starting as of today, right now at the start of this stream, your boy's going back to who I used to be 8 years ago before I was attacked. Which means I'm not getting on any panels, I'm not doing any of that shit. In the hotels, we lived in the Airbnbs, every single one of them was stupidly expensive. And to be honest, it wouldn't be fair to her or me that she came here and wouldn't be able to spend time with me before she leaves. That wouldn't be fair to her or me. That really would not be fair. So what would I have to do for her to be able to stay here a few days? I'll literally do anything that you need me to do, as long as she's able to stay here for a few days. Because things around here are too far expensive. I wouldn't do it. But this next song I'm about to do, I want to dedicate to my wonderful fiance Taylor, who has not only been a rock in my life during my lowest times, but has also been my wings during my highest of times. But the reason why I chose this song for her is because recently she went through the most terrible, most tragic ordeal of her life. And she didn't deserve it. So Taylor, if you're watching this, sweetheart, I hope that this song helps to motivate you to rise above what you've been through. You know, it's funny. A lot of people tend to make me out to be this monster that I'm not. And I actually find it funny. I do. I actually find it funny that people try to make me out to be this evil monster that I'm not. I actually find it funny. I really do. I actually find it funny that people try to sit here and make me out to be this evil monster that I'm not.
And just something I think you guys should know, Cyraxx pulling his thing out on stream is very ineffective anymore. It means nothing for the platform Marty uses. It doesn't affect him at all. So it's just because Cyraxx likes to do it. And Sally kind of recognized that. She's like, that's gonna do nothing. Sally is old. 70-something. She knows nothing about the internet, but she knows enough to know that Cyraxx isn't helping his case. He's doing that purposefully for whatever reason possible. And she's also aware that it's kind of against the law where Cyrax live, and she's like, if the cops come here to arrest you, I'm just letting them arrest you. And Cyrax hits her with, you're not gonna just let them arrest me. No, you're not, Mom. She's like, well, you better act up, and I'll try to save you from the cops again once they plow through the door. He's like, okay, thank you for that. I will stop. Ed, shut your mouth. You shut up. Or don't go, you get away from me. You stupid Ed. And he goes back to raging out and stripping. It meant nothing. He got right back to it like 5 minutes later. And he should really watch going against Sally's word, especially when he's like corralling Sally in the hallway. He's finally met her one-on-one. She finally caught up the courage to go talk to the man. And he's like, hey, Mom, you think my totally real girlfriend can spend a couple nights here at our house? I need you to make some room, start preparing more Hot Pockets daily. I just really want you to amp it up, Sally. What's going on around this household? Why isn't that clean? Why isn't that clean? We're gonna have kids here pretty soon. You need to step up your game if you're gonna be a grandmother to my stepchildren. I'm gonna be a great parent. What are you over here doing?
To all my friends that have helped me to transform back into the person that I used to be, I want to say thank you guys for helping me get back to my mother roots. Helping me get back to the 2016 version of myself. All I got to say is this, is god damn it good to feel to be back. It feels so damn good to be back, man. I do find it funny how a lot of people like to talk shit and run their mouths. And Taylor, if you see anybody up in here that you feel needs to be banned, by all means, babe, don't hold back. Ban these motherfuckers that you don't like. Only good people are allowed here. Only those that show support for me, for Taylor, and for what we're building are allowed here. Everybody else that wants to talk shit, hit the road, Jack. Cause y'all ain't allowed here. Where's all my real supporters at, man? I know y'all are in there. Where y'all at? And Taylor, I have one thing that I want to say to you, and that I want to say to all of our friends in real life that are probably watching this right now. I want to say thank you to you and all of our friends that helped me get back to where I want to be. Because without you guys, I wouldn't have been able to fight back and get back to where I was. I can't thank you and all of our friends and our family enough for helping me get back to who I used to be all those years ago. Is god damn it feels good to be back to my old self again. Because I'm on a mission, and my mission is to not only clean up my reputation, my mission is to be better than I was the day before, and the day before that, and the day before that. And I'm gonna continue that mission until I'm dead in the ground. Until the day I die, my mission continues.
Cyrax felt so good, he repeated his excited rant twice, same tone and everything. I don't think Cyrax plans much before his streams, but I can see him sitting in the mirror, wiping out a place for his face, just so he can see a little bit, and repeating that over and over again. He was like, yep, that's gonna sound like a man who just attended a therapy class, because this was after his disastrous therapy session, which he decided to record without anyone else's knowledge. The only people who decide to remove any unwilling participant are the people Rax literally spends an entire therapy class complaining about. Most likely because he knew he was recording himself and it would leak somehow, and he's just sending it to trustworthy sources. Wonder how that happens. But anyways, he kept what he done to the minimum when we all know if that's the therapy Cyrax is going to take, he needs to have a far realer and deeper discussion with the group and therapists there to help him.
On me as far as internet garbage has kind of led me to do some really messed up shit that I know shouldn't be doing. Because me, I do music and I do content creation on YouTube, and a lot of what these people do with what they're putting through kind of led me down that really messed up road, and it's like, I know I don't need to be there. And honestly, I know it sounds crazy, but the whole reason why I never got therapy sooner, like I said, with me being a content creator and me doing music, and me, being screwed over as much as I have, and me not getting that help that I should have got, like, I always kind of felt like I would always get judged, And, once my girlfriend sat down with me last night and we talked about it, she was like, look, like, I'll give you another chance, but you need to get help. You need to do this. And I was like, all right, what can I do? Those kids and her, like, they're worth, trying to make this shit work. And that's me. I unfortunately did get caught multiple times. And like I said, the reason why I'm in this boat is because, like I said, I do content creation on YouTube and I do a lot of music and stuff. And I got a lot of people that just want to troll me, mess with me, send fake people my way and try to get me to slip up. And I ended up slipping up multiple times. And after this last time, it was like, dude, like, enough's enough. Like, we need to do something about this now, because if I don't do something about this, like, I could ruin not only the one thing that in my life that I have going for me with her, but also, like, this could really destroy me as a person, because I already deal with a lot already, because I do deal with, depression and anxiety. I write and record my own music as well. Being in that field, I get a lot of trolls and, a lot of very messed up people that try to do really screwed up stuff that has actually eventually ended up with me cheating and doing this and that and the other on my girlfriend of 3 or 4 months now. And I can honestly say, dude, like, when she came into my life, she pulled me out of one of the darkest places in my life. Like, she came to me when I was at one of my lowest points, pulled me out, and got me back into where I needed to be. And then eventually I ended up slipping up because of a lot of the trolls, a lot of the negativity that they bring. Like, once I did those actions multiple times, it was like, dude, like, we got to get a handle on this. Like, and it's not easy either. Like, it's definitely not easy, with what I deal with, because, like, it can be hard. Like, it's definitely not easy, and the whole reason why I never got help before was because my family did try to go the legal route with these people, and we did try to get actual help and be like, look, like, we need help, and they ended up, just leaving us to, to our own devices, basically left us to fend for ourselves, which ultimately led to me slipping up. For streaming, for recording stuff, I love it, but I hate it sometimes because it gives me trouble like that a lot of the times. It's like, it says it's connecting and then it doesn't, and then it goes back to connecting. They need to fix that, honestly.
I don't know what therapy is like. It seems really sterile and boring. But I especially couldn't imagine what kind of environment a sex therapy session is like, and the vibe could only get worse when you got a dude who doesn't sound like he has any idea about what he's talking about go on and on about his family. And after listening to this for hours, I'd love to see the reactions to hear that he's never actually met them one time. Not once. I bet they would lose their mind. And it's even better when you realize he was interrupting these people, talking over them like he's on a panel, like he's on one of the regular panels he's normally on. It was slowly becoming a challenge to him, who's more of a degenerate. Luckily for him, I think that's a contest he'll win just about every single time. And guys, he will not stop talking about his stepchildren. It's non-stop in general, but this is not the place to be talking about them. I'm sure most of the other dudes in there who have their own kids are thinking something similar, but he wasn't bringing them up all the time. In fact, I didn't hear another person say it once.
What's up, name's Chance, and I am a recovering not only sex addict, but also I had been cheating on my girlfriend many, many times. And it's been hard, man. And it's not been easy. And like you said, it's very, very hard. It's always just like a few clicks away. And it's not easy at all. Like, I don't understand. Like, I understand where it started because I come from a background of mentally, emotional, and verbally abusive relationships, which did kind of lead to that addiction going down that road. And like, even though I know I shouldn't engage in that, in the back of my mind, I know I shouldn't. But there's just something about it that's just like, just something about the way they speak, what they say, what they do. It triggers that thing of like, I want to be part of that. And like, it's not easy. And like I said, I'm new to this, so like, I'm still trying to get the hang of things. It's a very tough battle, but I can honestly say that it's definitely one that is worth fighting for sure. You know, like you said, it's never easy being in the headspace of like, you know that you want to get away from it, but you know that there's always that lingering thing of like, you know you want to do this, but it's like, it's up to you whether you get away from that or not. And that's actually what I'm working on myself, is whenever I see that, to not engage with that, to not, interact with that, because I know that if I do that, it's going to be all bad. It's going to lead me right back down that same road. And again, I'll be right back at square one, which is where I don't need or want to be. I was up all night, like, just like, what do I do? What do I say? I've never had to do this. I've never gone through this. I've never dealt with this before. Like, I've had counselors, but I've never, like, actually sat down and done a full-on, therapy session where I can actually talk about, the demons of addiction, depression, and how all that goes hand in hand, and how it's really affected me on that level of like, I need to get a grip on this now or it's going to consume me. And when it does, I don't know if I'll be able to come back from that. Like I said, I'm hoping that over time, with your guys' help and with my friends and my family and my girlfriend, I'll be able to like figure those triggers out. And once I figure those out, it's like, okay, how do I stop those triggers? How do I get a handle on that so that when that does happen, I can be like, nope, not doing that. And it's not easy. It's definitely not easy, especially when it's super strong. It can be very difficult, especially for those that, look up to me as, a music artist, as a content creator. Like, those people look up to me, and whatever I do, they're gonna see that. And instead of setting that bad example, I want to be able to be like, hey, this is what I went through, and I made it out of it. If I can make it through this, so can you guys. And it's definitely a tough journey, but it's definitely one that's worth fighting, for sure. And granted, don't get me wrong, I do have my friends, I do have my family, I do have my support group that's been there, for me through literally hell and back.
I wonder if Cyrax has ever thought, well, what am I talking about? He's never thought about this, but it's so blatantly obvious to anyone that the only reason these trolls are able to attract him so easily because they know everything about you, Cyrax. I mean, every single thing, all the buttons to push to get you going. And you know what? Every single one of them are creepy. It's just push all of the creepy buttons, and Cyrax, you just got a picture you don't want to ever see in your life coming from him. But I guess that's enough for me. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, and if you haven't already, leave a sub. And you can find me over on kick.com under Major Chinchilla. I think it should be in the description. It should be. But anyhow, guys, you guys have a good day, and I'll catch you guys next time.